Hello beautiful souls, I am Awakened Soul, and today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, setting up our next trade. We're going to start off in our 2-week time frame. So let's go ahead and set our 2-week time frame and setting support and resistance on our highs and lows. And if you're having a hard time finding your highs and lows, go ahead and use your pivot highs and lows indicator. That helps me identify where my highs and lows are at the time. Wonderful. Once the highs and lows are set in your weekly time frame and your 2-week time frame, go ahead and move to your daily. Within your daily, you want to find your daily range, your high and your low. Again, if you have a hard time finding that, turn on your pivot highs and low. So this is our low, our higher low for the day, and our high here. So we just confirm higher highs. So our next high will be our weekly high at 25,205. Wonderful. Once you set your range, you want to do your daily trend lines from higher high to lower high. I also have this indicator. It's the higher high, lower low indicator that I use, and I did change the settings to 30, and it helps me visualize like a future pattern or where the chart is going. So that's that. So I have my trend line here, and within this trend line I'm gonna find a daily target just based on a Joe target. So 1 touch, 2 touch, and then we're gonna see the lowest price here. It looks like it was 18,210, 18,1. Hold on, which one's lower? 18,161 is lower, right? Yes. Okay, having a hard time here doing some math. But okay, once you find the lowest point, go ahead and set your target at the trend line. And it looks like we just hit that daily target. So we're bouncing on our daily target. Okay, so you have your trend lines, you have your daily range. Go ahead and set your POC. Your POC will be point of control, and that's gonna help you determine where price action could return to. So here we are. I just like to mark it. Let's remove the indicator. Alrighty, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay, so now we're gonna move into our 4-hour time frame. Within our 4-hour time frame, we're gonna create a 4-hour trend line. Turn on my EMAs. Actually, not those. So I like to use the 12 and the 26 EMA. So once I'm in my 4-hour, I like to set my 4-hour trend line. So a confirmation for me to take a short will be a 4-hour break of the trend line and price action being below the 12 EMA. So that's my 4-hour trend line. Within this 4-hour trend line, I'm going to set a target. So if we break down to the downside and if we cross this 4-hour trend line, my first target based on a Joe target would be 21,412. And if you're having a hard time understanding what's your Joe target, you could definitely join our Telegram, free Telegram. And of course, if we continue to the downside, my next Joe target would be, let's see, pivot highs and lows. That's why I love my pivot highs and lows. It gives me exact price, because sometimes it's hard to visualize what wick is, you know, the highest price. So it looks like 21,639 was the highest price. So this would be my next Joe target. Wonderful. Okay, so I have my trend lines. My 4-hour trend line. Let's see. Okay, so once your daily target is set, let's go ahead and just step back, zoom out, see what's going on. So I like to draw some nice trend lines within the daily time frame, and actually the 12-hour plays out really good too. So let's do our trend lines within our 12-hour. I want to show you something that I saw earlier. So usually I go with the flow, right? I believe in energy, and I feel like just the charts in general are all energy. And within this here, right, I'm just marking the price action as it goes up. From this point. Oops, not the fib. How did the fib get there? Just simple trend lines within the 12-hour. Right, we had a down movement, now we're in an up movement. Okay, let me show you what I was looking at. So this was the down movement. So within here, I was looking at a megaphone that could possibly play out, even though we're in an uptrend. Sorry. So I was using the support here. Let me this megaphone, and it's right on it. So I was looking at this possible megaphone to play out, and this being our top and having a big downside movement. And I did post it on my Twitter. If you're not following it on my Twitter, it is posted on my YouTube channel, so you could go ahead and click that. I usually post new updates every day, as you know, once the market moves, a new pattern ends up shaping up. So anyhow, so within this megaphone, I was thinking maybe we could find some resistance here, then roll over to the downside. It's just the thought, right? We can't do trading based on our thoughts. We have to do trading based on what the charts are telling us. So I'm gonna move this here. Okay, so within the 4-hour, we have our 4-hour trend line. And within the 4-hour, I'm going to go ahead and look at this contraction phase. And if you don't know, the charts move in phases. Let me show you really quick so you have a quick understanding. We have contraction phase. We have a trend here, contraction phase, trend, contraction phase, contraction phase, trend, contraction phase. So we are in a contraction phase right now. So within every contraction phase, you're able to notice a new pattern, a new, let's say, rising wedge, falling wedge, or whatnot. So if you've missed the trend phase, it's okay. It's always gonna have a contraction phase. So let's move into smaller time areas. And that's where my higher high, lower low indicator comes into play. Because if you set it up in the smaller time frame, let's say 30 minutes, you're able to find a nice pattern connecting highs and lows. So just based on this, and we connect the highs and the lows, let's change the color to make it cute. You're able to see a new pattern. So that's like a falling, like a flag, right? Mark your highs, mark your lows. This is my high, this is my low, so this is the range. Big contraction phase. So remember, this blue line is part of our megaphone, right? So right now, just based on the 15 minutes, right, it's hard to say where we're going. Like I said, I'm hoping for this 4-hour trend to break to the downside. I'm gonna highlight it. So for me to take a short, I have to see price action in the 4-hour come below the 12 EMA. So once the price action comes below the 12 EMA, and in my 1 hour it crosses to the downside and cross this 4-hour trend line, that'll be an indicator to take a short. But till then, we're just playing within this range. This could be a nice ripsaw. So right down, it could hit up, it could hit all the way to the top of this megaphone and then come down. Or if you're a scalper, you could use your POC, your point of control, and short above point of control and long below point of control, using your highs and your lows and your point of control. You're able to, you know, short here, long here, short here, long here, right? I have this wedge. So if we have some resistance within this trend line, right, we know that our next move will be to the lows. I also do keep an eye on my daily highs and lows, and as you can see, we have created new lower lows. And this is just how the market moves. It's important to understand. Highs, down, right? It's up, down, down. So this could be just a lower high, and it's going to come back down to the downside. Set your alarms here. You could also set a trend line here. And once it starts rolling over to the downside, you could take a nice short from this end. But for now, just based on my TA, I think we've reached a topping point, and I do see it rolling over, especially if you go on your daily. You see your point of control is all the way down here, right? And usually price comes back to our point of control. And of course, our RSI has been so oversold, overbought. Let me pull up my RSI. So I do keep an eye on my RSI too, just to see if there's any divergence, any oversold, overbought, right? So in the 4-hour, so see this divergence right away. I could see it in the 4-hour from this to this point, how the RSI is coming down, and you see from this point to this point, and the price action has been going up. So there is some divergence in the 4 hours. So just be careful level to level. One trade a day makes the day. But for me right now, it looks like we're gonna have a downside movement, and we'll go from there, right? If you decide to take that short, remember to put your stop loss at previous higher highs, because if we go back to highs, it could invalidate this downside movement and start creating new higher lows and continue to the upside, right? So higher highs, lower lows are great areas to set your stop loss. So that's all for today. You have a wonderful day. Make sure you do everything with love. And if we break to the downside, you do have your target of 21,412. Okay, that'll be our short target, and we'll take it one day at a time. Thank you.